Let us see the next question. A multinational company is planning to set up a subsidiary company in India where hitherto it was exporting. In view of growing demand for its product and the competition from other multinational companies, the initial project cost consisting of the plant and machinery, including the installation, is estimated to be US $500 million. That is the investment. The net working capital requirement are estimated $50 million. The company follows straight line method of depreciation. Presently, the company is exporting 2 million units every year at the price of $80. Its variable cost per unit is $40. The chief financial officer has estimated the following operating costs and other data in respect of the proposed project. Variable operating cost will be $20 per unit of the production. Additional cash fixed cost will be $30 million per annum, and the project's share of allocated fixed cost will be $3 million per annum based on the principle of the ability to share. The production capacity of the proposed project in India will be 5 million units, that is 50 lakhs. Expected useful life of the proposed plant is 5 years with no salvage value. Existing working capital investment for the production and the sale of 2 million units through the export was $50 million. Export of the product in the coming year will decrease to 1.5 million number of units in case the company does not open subsidiary company in India. In view of the presence of other competing MNCs that are in the process of setting up of their subsidiaries in India. Applicable income tax rate is 35%. Required rate of return for such project is 12%. That is, discounting rate is given to us 12%. Assuming there will be no variation, there is no change in the exchange rate of the two currencies, and all of the profit can be repatriated as there will be no withholding tax. This information is not required to be given, because if at all no information is given, we always assume that the profit can be immediately repatriated, and we assume that so there is no withholding tax. Estimate NPV of the proposed project in India. Present value factors have been given to us for 12% 5 years. Year 1 to year 5 factors have been given to us. I request all of you first of all to go through the question, then we will discuss how to do it. So friends, over here we have to take decision from a US company point of view that whether it should come to India for the purpose of doing business instead of exporting goods from US itself. The question is over here that so the US company is required to decide whether it should come to India for the purpose of establishment of some factory instead of doing export business from there itself. That is the decision that we have to take over here. So friends, over here we will be adopting a kind of incremental approach for decision making. The incremental approach will be, let us go over there for doing business instead of exporting of goods from US. That is the way incremental approach we will adopt. Usually I suggest students to do answer in 5 steps. Step number 1 is investment. That what is the investment that say you have to make. Step number 2 is depreciation. Step number 3 is terminal cash flow. Third step is recurring cash flow. And fourth step is the NPV. So these are the 5 steps which I generally suggest students to adopt. So please write down answer for the question. In this question, comma, we have to decide from US company point of view, comma, whether to go to India for setting up a subsidiary instead of exporting goods to India. Full stop. We will adopt incremental approach for decision making. Full stop. Step number 1, investment. I request you to put in the chat box what is the investment to be made in the project. So friends, over here there is a capital investment to be made which is provided to us as 500 million, and we understand that say there is working capital investment to be made of 15 if at all we go over there and we do business. However, we already have made investment of 15 million, so there is additional investment to be made of 35 million. So over here we will have capital investment of $500 million plus working capital $35 million, because we have to make total investment of 5015. However, we already have made investment of 15. So what is the additional investment to be made? 35. So what is the total investment? 535. That is step number 1, investment. Step number 2, depreciation. That is very simple. Straight line method of depreciation is given to us, and we have been provided with the information that the salvage value is 0 SLM, and we have been provided with the information that its useful life is 5 years with no salvage value. So what will happen over here? It is cost divided by number of years. What is cost? It is $500 million divided by how many years? 5. So depreciation is very simple. It is $100 million. Step number 3. It is terminal cash flow. When the project is terminated, you will be able to get working capital recovery. It is an amount of $35 million, because we understand that say basically we are going to get 15, but even otherwise we were supposed to get 15. So incremental it is 35. So it is 50 minus 15 once again. Step number 4, recurring cash flow. Friends, we will compute the recurring cash flow only for the first year. Dear students, in this question, the question is only providing the information about the production capacity. It is not providing that say actually how much capacity is going to be utilized. So of course, we will make an assumption that we are going to use the entire production capacity in a way that say the sales will be equal to the production, 5 million number of units, and accordingly we will calculate the answer. I want you to tell me the recurring cash flow in the chat box. So let us start with the answer. We'll start with the sales. We understand that so over here we have made an assumption that we are going to produce and sell entirely 5 million number of units. As far as the selling price is concerned, friends, no revised selling price is given. So we make an assumption that the selling price is going to remain same, that is 8080. I request all of you to write down answer along with me. So 5 million into 80, that comes to 400 million, less variable cost, 5 million into 20, that is 100, because the new variable cost is provided to us as 20. Language of the question is very clearly providing additional cash fixed cost of $30 million per annum. So it is the cash fixed cost. It is $30 million. Next is depreciation. Amount of depreciation is 100, which we have found in our step number 2. Then we have been provided with the allocation of the expenses. Any allocation, absorption, charge or a recovery of overhead is not an incremental expense. So we have to ignore it for the purpose of calculation of the cash flows. That is what we understand. Friends, right now we are having the variable cost of 40 and we are selling it for 80. So we understand that right now the export business that we have, in that we have contribution of 40. Language of the question speaks that right now we are having the sales of 2 million, but we are expecting that in future it will be only 1.5 million. So if at all we go over there for the purpose of doing business, then we will forgo the contribution that we could have received on the export business. So we will have the contribution forgone. We understand it is 80 minus 40. $40 per unit into 1.5 million. So 40 into 1.5, that comes to 60 million. Okay. We understand that from the revenue all the expenses will be deducted to find profit before taxes. Income tax rate is provided to us as 35%. So the tax 35%. Or we may write directly also profit after taxes 65%. Because writing tax, deducting it does not make a sense. Then we add back depreciation. Why? Because the depreciation is a non-cash item, that is 100 million, in order to make the computation of the CFAT. This is the way cash flow after taxes will be calculated for the first year. Whatever is the CFAT for the first year itself is a CFAT for the remaining years. So we don't have to compute it for the remaining years separately. So over here 400 minus 100 minus 30 minus 100 minus 60. So I think it comes to 110 dollar million into 0.35, so 38.5. Profit after taxes is 71.5. So the total is 171.5. This is the cash flow after taxes year 1 to year 5. Then in step number 5, we will calculate the NPV of the project. So now in step number 5, we will make the NPV calculation. Step number 5, calculation of NPV. Let us see year 1 to year 4 and 5th year. Year 1 to year 4, 171.5 million. Last year it will be 171.5 million plus amount of terminal cash flow is 35. Then it will be discounted at the rate of 12%. First year factor is 8929, second year 7972, third year 7118, fourth year it is 6355. As far as the fifth year cash flow is concerned, it will be discounted at the rate of 0.5674. Last year it is 171.5 plus 35. So it is 206.5. 1 to 4 factor summation. Importantly friends, the factors have been given to us in the question. Here are the factors. So it is mandatory for us to use them only for the purpose of NPV calculation. 8929 plus 7972 plus 7118 plus 6355. $3.0374. Present value into 171.5. So 520.9141. 206.5 into 0.5674. So 117.17. Present value of the cash inflow 520.91 plus 117.17, so 638.08. Amount of investment is 535 million, that is in the year 0. So that is NPV of the project, which is positive 103.08. So we understand that since NPV is positive, so the US company should come to India for the purpose of doing business. So based on this, we'll take the decision. So the decision is US company should open subsidiary company in India. full stop, with paragraph right down. We are assuming that company will have 100% capacity to be used, comma, once it comes to India. Full stop. And dear students, over here, the language of the question also provides like this only, that a multinational company is planning to set up a subsidiary company in India, where hitherto it was exporting in view of the growing demand. So if at all we come over here and do business, we will be able to capture more market is also provided to us in the question. So this is the way, so we are required to write the answer in terms of the final decision, and we can write this also additional assumption as a part of the answer.